Hello, hello. Hi guys, how are you? We are back for another video. Thank you guys for joining me back. Had to run downstairs right quick and grab something right quick. Thank y'all for being so patient with me. Hi, I see you guys. There's more people coming in. That's great. Let's go ahead and get started. Oh, got some great topics tonight. Yes, we do. All right, so everything said in the video is alleged and in my opinion and is used for fair use and entertainment, okay? Yes, and yes. Again, thank you guys for joining us back. All right, so let's go ahead and get into our topics. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm getting messages. People be knowing I'm live and we still, that should be weird. All right, so. Okay, so before we get into, y'all know it's like a build-up, okay? So before we get into the real meat of it all, let's go ahead and drop some tea on you guys that I found, okay? All right, give me 1 second. Let's get it pulled up here for y'all. Yeah. Ooh, child. Okay. All right, y'all give me a minute. I want to make sure I'm giving you all. Because I pulled a few things for tonight. Okay. All right, so this is what I'm going to play for you guys is an email that was sent with some information that involves Diddy and Kim Porter and some things that she knew about, okay? Very crazy, okay? Now, there's going to be a little trigger warning with this, all right? There'll be a little trigger warning. Let me go ahead and put that banner up for you guys. Because I know some of you guys sometimes are. I'm wilder, I'm crazier. All right, so shout out to Tough News, okay? Let's go ahead and fast forward you on. Get it to the point where I want y'all to hear because we're not going to listen to the whole entire thing. All right, so let's get into this email. All right. Oh my God, it's a lot, y'all. And it says here, man, what I'm about to regurgitate to you is let's back it up just a little. When I heard this as it really caught me off guard, and I think that is back it up just a little. Made some compelling arguments in regards to what they think happened to Erica Kennedy. Now, I will say that it's mighty interesting that Erica Kennedy. All right, so let's explain to you guys who Erica Kennedy is, since they're going to take it that far. All right, so let's explain who Erica Kennedy is. Erica Kennedy is a friend of, well, was a friend of Kim Porter. She died eerily the same way that Kim Porter did. Her death was deemed like unsolved, so to speak, okay? Erica Kennedy worked as a stylist with Sean John, okay, guys? She also wrote a book about Diddy, okay? She wrote a book. The title of her book is called Bling. You might want to go and check it out because she's telling about a lot of inside stories and secrets about Bad Boy and about the industry. She worked hand in hand with Diddy. And like I said, she wrote a book, but she changed the names in the book. So you know who they're talking about, but she changed the name. Y'all get what I'm saying? Okay, so she didn't name out like, okay, so Diddy did this. No, she changed the name to something else, but you knew she was talking about Diddy, okay? Now, when Diddy heard that this book was coming out, he got into this big argument with Erica, okay? Erica Kennedy is her name to be exact. She was in Kimora Lee's wedding. She was a bridesmaid. She was a friend of Kim Porter, very close friend of Kim Porter, all right? Now, after she got into this argument with Diddy, soon after, she was found in her apartment unalived, okay? And they're saying that her death was ruled natural causes, all right? Very, very weird. Very, very weird. Now, they're saying that the record company is also in her book that she named the record company Augusta Records, which we know Kim Porter is from Georgia, Columbus, Georgia, to be exact. So it's like she was connecting dots, but she was kind of saying it indirectly. Okay. So I'm gonna play for you guys here in a second what they're saying happened with her, and she is important in terms of what we're talking about tonight because, like I said, she passed away kind of almost the same way Kim Porter did. Now, moving on from her, before we play this, Ed Winters. Let's explain who he is because he may be mentioned here too. Ed Winters is the coroner who he's like the coroner to the stars. Ed Winter is like the 70-year-old man who actually did Kim Porter's first autopsy, okay, when she passed away. He also did Michael Jackson's autopsy. Y'all remember when he died with the whole Conrad Murray, that doctor that gave him too much propofol. He did Brittany Murphy's autopsy. He also did Whitney Houston's autopsy as well, and so many other stars, okay, which all of their deaths were ruled questionable, which is so weird. He's the one that did their autopsies, okay? Now, Kim Porter's first autopsy revealed that there was poison in her system, guys, okay? Yes, it stated that Kim's first autopsy was listed as a homicide, all right? And after he actually did this autopsy on Kim, when Diddy found this out, coincidentally, this coroner wound up getting fired, all right, in early 2018. Now, another autopsy was performed after that, which she was ruled as having pneumonia, okay? I don't understand that. How do you have homicide, and go from having homicide to then saying that you died from pneumonia when everybody was saying she was fine, all right? Now, this particular coroner, let's get a history first. This particular coroner wound up dying, you guys, at 73 years old. He was an older man, all right? They said he was healthy. Nothing was wrong with him. His death was also ruled suspicious. He passed away around April of the following year of 2019, okay? So this was most recent. Now, Erica Kennedy, like we were just saying, which was Kim Porter's friend, and she was also Kimora Lee Simmons' friend as well. Her death was just like Kim's death, like I said, suspicious. She was promised a singing career, just like Cassie, all right? And she wound up writing this book because of things that she actually saw in the industry and the fact that she was working so closely with Diddy, and she saw a lot of things between Diddy and Kim. And of course, Kim shared a lot of things with her as well. So she was like, oh, let me write this book. She named the book Bling, like I said. And like I said, her death was very much so very eerie as well. So after her book, she was found unalived in her apartment. And Kimora Lee Simmons, of course, she's been so adamant about opening up these cases, and especially Kim Porter's case, to have it reinvestigated because she felt that there were some things that were not legit in terms of this mysterious death between Kim and also with Erica Kennedy, okay? Yeah, so her death was a mysterious death as well, and there looked like there was some type of tampering that was taking place with that. So now, coincidentally, Erica Kennedy's death records have been sealed, okay, after there was talk about her having a second investigation on her death to find out what really happened with her. They were saying that her death records have been sealed. After Kim Porter's passing, they're saying it was lobar. I hope I'm saying it right, pneumonia. Her records have also been sealed because there have been talk about her also being exhumed and further investigation on her as well. All right, so let's go ahead and get into what this email has to say so that whenever you hear these names that I was just talking about, you won't be like, who is that? Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it.
He decided to name the record company within her book Augusta Records, given the fact that Kim is from Columbus, Georgia. And I know that they're two different cities, but they're in the same state. And so it could be possible that Erica Kennedy was trying to low-key connect some dots for us to see later on, right? Now, as far as the second clip, when the young lady spoke on the fact that Kimora holds the key to crack this thing wide open, basically, she's absolutely right. I think the one thing that holds Kimora back is the fact that she is worried about the safety of her daughters, because when you look at Russell, he can't be depended upon, right? He's out here violating women. He's broke. And so who's going to look after her daughters? And I think that that is one thing that stands in the way of Kimora actually just letting it all go. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this wild email. Now, before I read this email, I want to say that everything that I'm about to convey to you is all alleged. This email is on fire, y'all, right? And so there were some things that I decided not to talk about. I have another portion of the email, but I left it out because it's that heavy. So let's go ahead and get into it. And it says here, man, what I'm about to regurgitate to you is some monstrous and repulsive information, dog. Bro, when I heard this S, it really caught me off guard to say the least. So before we get into the meat and potatoes, I'm told that Kim Porter says she had proof that Diddy had Heavy D knocked off as well. The reason he had Heavy D knocked off is because Heavy D was working on a tell-all book as well about his life and the evil side of the business. Heavy D had conversations with Kim about Diddy being involved in H10, and I'm paraphrasing there, and he also voiced his displeasure of how Usher was taken advantage of when Usher lived with Diddy for a year. Heavy D was working on his book months prior before he died, and he confided in Kim about a lot of things and told her some secrets she didn't even know. Remember, they all started together at Uptown. Now, guess who the F was the corner for Heavy was when he passed? Ed Winter. The autopsy of Heavy came back inconclusive, just like Kim's did. And when they ran further toxicology tests, Ed Winter came across something that raised a red flag. He noticed that there was a toxin that causes clotting and immense suppression of the function of the lungs. And according to someone who previously worked with Ed Winter, said that Heavy D death was a homicide. Also, peep this weird connection. They said that Heavy D was suffering from a touch of pneumonia, just like they said about Kim. Now, this was said to be a false diagnosis because the toxin that was used on both Kim and Heavy weren't the same, but they will make a person feel as though they were experiencing flu-like symptoms. I'm told that when Ed Winter conducted the autopsy for Kim and found out that foul play was involved, he said that he would never be bullied into masking the truth again. Ed essentially said that there was a toxin found in Heavy D's toxicology report that caused clotting issues, and Heavy D's weight fluctuation over the course of his life was a perfect excuse to cover up what really happened to him. I'm told Ed Winter's exact words was people would just automatically assume that his weight played a significant role in it.
The Biden Sorry, guys. There's an ad. I wish I could block these stupid ads. Yeah, guys, this is so eerie. All these deaths are connected, it seems. And you can tell some things are being covered up. We're back.
I tried to look up info about that, but I didn't come across anything. But I believe it. Also, I was told that Cassie had a foot put up her tush by Diddy, and I'm paraphrasing here, in the midst of having a train ran on her because she said she was sore and needed a break. Instead, he suggested she use an ice pack afterwards because he made it clear that there are no blanking breaks. We don't take blanket breaks around here, Diddy implied. Cassie also talked about being to the bedpost blindfolded on many occasions while random men would come in and arm her. Cassie also said that there were many instances where she was blindfolded and other girls were brought into the room off the street, but she never saw their faces and only heard their moans and groans after being coerced to do acts on her and the guys involved. But Cassie's recollection of the voices she heard did not sound as if it was coming from a group of mature women. She also says that even if it was that time of the month, she was still sometimes forced to do acts. She also says that Diddy wanted her to get permission from him when he helped out her parents or other family members financially and control when she spoke to them. Now, this is where it gets wild. Cassie says that Diddy found out about her and Kim's conversations and their frequent meetups before Kim died. He had Cassie's phone records pulled and saw text messages that were from a number that was unfamiliar to him. Kim had a burner phone, so to speak. But the context of the text messages between Cassie and that number pointed to the fact that she was talking to Kim. Cassie says that's the last time Diddy put pause on her because that was the moment she knew for sure that it was time for her to escape. It's also been explained to me that Cassie said that one of the most humiliating things that Diddy made her do that makes her feel yucky even to this day is when he made her sleep with a couple of his sons. I would go into further detail, but it's too graphic. Hey, bro, I sent every recording, documents, and emails to dude. You know who and what I'm talking about. So you are thoroughly covered. Later, 100. All right, so you guys just heard all of that. Now I want to take the time to read you something in regards to the passing of Heavy D, because it's very interesting. So it says the rapper, real name Dwight Arrington Myers, passed away on November the 8th, shortly after a shopping trip. Many close to the New York native believe pneumonia was the cause of death. He said he had a touch of pneumonia, maybe from traveling. He just got back from England. Cousin Rudy Phillips told the New York Daily News. Sadly, the flight from the UK likely created a blood clot that killed him. Ed Winters, a spokesman for the LA County Coroner's Office, told ABCNews.com that the medication for flu-like symptoms were found at Heavy D's home. Although Winters declined to name the medication, he said no illegal drugs were found. Now, I'm just going to read the top portion of this, and it says, the late rapper and record producer passed away suddenly at the age of 44 on Tuesday, November the 8th. The results from an autopsy have been proven inconclusive and are pending the results of toxicology tests, reports the LA Times. All right, so you guys just heard all of that, so let's connect a few dots. So first of all, it seems that both Kim and Heavy got sick after taking trips outside of the country. Now, the one thing that's evident is that you can't blame the C word on Heavy because the C word was not out then. Now, a lot of people try to say that Kim contracted the C word. We just didn't know what it was at that particular point. No, she didn't. Now, similarity number 2, both of them were said to have pneumonia. Now, let's go to similarity number 3. Both of their autopsies come back inconclusive. And number 4, Ed Winter in both cases elected not to talk about the prescriptions that were found on the scene. I know what the prescription was. 1 million milligrams of Diddy. That's what it was. I'm telling you, it's clear and evident that Diddy has his name written all over this and all over a lot of people that went missing that was close to him, right? At some point in time. Now, as far as the accusation when it comes to Diddy's sons allegedly having some type of intimate relationship with Cassie, it's not above the realm of possibility because didn't Diddy go behind Justin and deal with Lori Harvey? He absolutely did. So it's just crazy. I understand that this was a long video, y'all, but I'm going to cut it right here because I have more information for tomorrow. I want you.
All right. So did y'all catch that? Now that's all about the actual coroner who worked on Kim Porter as well as Erica. Okay. Erica Kennedy, to be exact, which was very, very good friends with Kim Porter. Everybody is linked to this celebrity coroner, Ed Winters, who also wound up unalived as well. And his death was also ruled as inconclusive. Nobody knew how he died. They said he was perfectly healthy, and they found him in his bed unalived. And this was all after he came out to say that there was some toxins found in Kim Porter's system during the time of his first autopsy. And it was ordered by, they're saying Diddy, was that he ordered a second autopsy, and he made it to where this coroner wound up getting fired from his job where he was a coroner for over 30-40 years. You guys, he was like 70 something years old. So it's looking like Diddy has a hand in a lot of things that is very much so unexplainable. Okay, now, oh my God. Now, there's another person that I found out that is kind of linked to this situation as well. Her name is Capricorn Clark. You guys may have heard that name before. She also worked in the industry at Bad Boy, to be exact. She was Diddy's ex-assistant. She is also Lauren London's sister, okay? She was beaten pretty bad from Diddy once Diddy found out that she was covering for Cassie when Cassie decided to start dating another rapper because she wanted to get away from Diddy, okay? So Capricorn pretty much kept the secrets of Cassie when Cassie confided in her. When she saw things, she kept Cassie's secrets because she didn't want Cassie to get in trouble. When Diddy found out, he put paws on her and she was beaten pretty badly until the record label actually had to pay Capricorn Clark because she was going to press charges. They didn't want her to press charges against Diddy. So the record company cut her a very nice, lucrative check, to be exact, so that she could keep her mouth shut, okay? Now, she was later fired and had to sign an NDA so that she could not speak on that. And Diddy also made it to where she could never, ever work in the industry again after that. So he went around telling all his friends not to ever hire her. So she's not been able to work in the industry anymore after that. So he destroyed her career. He destroyed her reputation in the business after he put hands on her, okay? I'm going to show you guys some pictures so that you guys will know who she is. She is Lauren London's sister. She also was seen in some pictures with Cassie. She hung out with Cassie quite a bit, okay? All right, let's see. All right, so yeah. Okay, yeah. All right, so. All right, so this is Capricorn in the white jacket. That's Capricorn, okay? Capricorn Clark. As you can see, that's Lauren London right there in the front with the black jacket on. Cassie is standing right there as well. The girl in the green, that is Erica Kennedy, okay? As you can see, they all hung together. Okay? The red jacket, that is Capricorn Clark. All right? Diddy's assistant. As y'all see, that's Diddy sitting there. Capricorn and Lauren. That's Capricorn with a hand up over her face. That's Lauren London. Okay. Capricorn again in London. Lauren London. That's Lauren with the blonde hair. That's Capricorn with the ponytail up. Okay. Just to give y'all a little insight. That's Cassie and Lauren London. She hung out a lot with Cassie as well, Lauren London. My question was, does Lauren London know a lot of things that may have happened? Because, you know, like with girlfriends, with homegirls, when they're going through some things, especially with men, they tend to talk about their issues with their good girlfriends, their good Judies. So my question is, were there some things that Lauren London may have known about through Cassie that she's not talked about as of yet, because maybe she might be scared, or maybe she's been forced into an NDA as well? Okay. Oh, I found this. This is where Diddy was arrested. This is his mugshot when he got arrested in the Pow Pow incident in the club when he was with Jennifer Lopez. Okay. All right. That's his mugshot. I pulled up some stuff. That's Diddy's mugshot when he got arrested in the Pow Pow incident, where Shine actually took the rap for that. Shine got paid a nice little lucrative check as well, millions, because he was facing 10 to 15 years for Diddy. So he got a nice little check as well for that. Okay. All right. But yes, like I said, Capricorn, she received a huge settlement to keep quiet from the assault, and she was, like I said, badly beaten, and she had to sign an NDA. Suge Knight also co-signed the fact that he actually saw this particular situation, some beatings that happened with Capricorn by Diddy. Yeah, so it was pretty, they said pretty horrific. They're saying she took a real bad one behind that, because she took up for it and lied to she took up for Cassie and lied to Diddy. Okay. All right, so let's get into some more tea here. All right, we're going to play for you now. Well, we were talking about a lot of ritual sex going on in the, let me remove my trigger warning, because that's really not a trigger warning coming up. It's just regular. Let's put my other banner back. Okay, so I'm going to play for you where Chris Brown is admitting that he was once going to sign to Bad Boy coming into the business. He decided not to sign with Bad Boy because, according to him, Diddy was trying to sleep with him too. Okay. Yeah. All right, so let me get that pulled up for you. He's actually saying it out of his mouth. Okay. All right. Have you been dreaming? Let me pull that up for you. Yeah, it's kind of yeah. He says that Diddy tried to mess with him. He tried to like backdoor him in order to sign him. I said, wait, what? All right, so let's get to it. Okay, hold on. Look at Fabulous.
The funniest part, like, a lot of people don't know, Diddy turned me down. I was 20 years old. Let's talk about it.
So that's Chris Brown talking.
They're getting in the ass because that's their ritual. That's their rite of passage to get to the next level. He get drugged. They rape this nigga. They rape this nigga. Wow.
Music is one of the most fundamental parts of human culture. It is always playing somewhere around the globe. Unfortunately, it looks like the music industry is becoming more vulnerable to fraud and scams with each passing year.
They been doing that.
Nobody, even the biggest names you could ever imagine. Chris Brown's recent statements about the music industry and Diddy's activities over the past
shout out to Relentless
2 decades are devastating, to say the least. CB has alleged that Diddy and the music industry
Chris
have
Brown.
been directly pressuring singers to turn gay, and many have gone on record confirming the rumors, which is ridiculous, even by the man's standards. Now, as it turns out, the bad boy mogul once refused to sign young Chris because he refused to give in to his sexual demands. If you want to enjoy the whole story, then stick around because we are just getting started.
They give them transformers, so they get high, they get intoxicated, and they have transvestites in that. They have transvestites and videotape this shit.
Diddy's elusive sexuality has always been the subject of suspicion, but it was his earlier collaborations that really stoked the flames. Fans were left wondering what Diddy really wanted after hearing his Hope collaboration with Blood Orange, aka Devontae Hines. While Diddy sings about how he wants to be loved, the video shows two actors sharing
How he want to be loved.
embrace. He has undoubtedly gained attention due to his antics.
Yeah, I love this drink.
I like when you like this, Daddy. Daddy, I like when you.
She's talking to another man calling him
Now,
daddy.
we all seen this clip before, right? They use this clip for a lot of Diddy videos, the gossip or the alleges about Diddy. Look at every time I see this clip right here, bro. Look at Fabulous face, bro. He like, bro, I'm glad I turned down that bad boy deal. Even though it was for a bunch of money, I'm glad I turned down that bad boy deal.
Shout out to Relentless.
However, that was hardly the only time rumors about Diddy's private life surfaced. He is reported to be going wild at Diddy's homosexual parties, and he is frequently associated romantically with Will Smith, another famous person rumored to be
Wait, hold on, guys.
secretly gay. In June last year, on the heels of Chris Brown releasing his long-awaited new album, Breezy, the Virginia-bred crooner, joined the Men of Drink Champs to not only divulge about his then upcoming LP, but to also share some secrets about his upbringing within the industry. And oh boy, some details will shock you.
The funniest part, like,
This is Chris Brown.
Diddy turned me down. I was 12 years old. Let's talk about it.
The Iffy singer revealed that he nearly became a bad boy
Noriega act like he
artist
know a
when Diddy
little
turned
something,
him down. And for what? He wanted Breezy to sleep with him, yet he was just a kid, for God's sake. I'm a keep it 100. So I was like 12 at this time. This was before I linked to Def Jam. It was me and one of my production manager's son named TJ. He's my brother to this day. Me and him were like a group, Brown explained. When he added the group was nameless, Drink Champs host Nor teased, "This is why he didn't sign y'all." Though omitting any further specific details, Nor added, "If you danced, he definitely would have signed you." But well, he didn't, as he always does. Diddy only signs those who give in to his demands.
Bro, look right there, bro. look at this. I don't even know what to call him, bro. Like, I can't even get it out. He looked like the GAY word demon, bro. Look at the look, bro.
Look at Diddy.
Y'all have to see this.
But the whole music industry is rotten to the core. Chris is just one of its victims.
Smart
In
man, Chris.
2016, Alexis, Benny Medina's ex-wife, said that the reason for their divorce was that she saw Will Smith, Diddy's alleged lover, in bed with record executive Benny Medina, her husband. This caused a firestorm on social media. Will and Jada declared they would not attend the Oscars that year because of the lack of diversity in the industry, and the timing of these
Well, it wasn't
couldn't
that.
be worse for them. On Facebook,
We know what it
Alexis
was.
pulled back, calling the couple hypocrites and claiming that Jada was nothing more than a beard for Will. She even recalled a time when Will supposedly threw a tantrum on the set of 6 Degrees of Separation because he didn't want to kiss another man. Cherie, Will's ex-wife, disputed the charges and defended her ex-husband's honor while Jada kept silent. However, neither Diddy nor Will are the first public figures to be accused of being gay. 50 Cent, who is known for his outspoken personality, recently took a jab at Jay-Z in an interview by comparing him to the late gay artist Jean-Michel Basquiat. On a more upbeat note, rapper Rick Ross has recently spoken out in favor of the LGBTQ community in hip-hop. Ross, in an interview with Funky Geneva, expressed his support for the inclusion of homosexual rappers and urged aspiring artists to go for it.
I think what's going on now is that the higher-ups are afraid, bro. The higher-ups are afraid they're getting revealed. So now they saying, hey, we got to change the whole game plan. No, we got to accept the culture. We have to accept the culture of the LGBTQ. We have to, because they're on to us, bro. That's what it is.
anyone.
So pretty much they're saying that in order to get record deals that you have to sleep with the higher ups. So, okay, that's pretty much what they're saying here. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to skip on to this other video that I have, and we're going to let it play through because this one talks about how L.A. Reid gave Usher over to Diddy and how Justin Bieber came in and he was also given to Diddy. All right, so that you guys can get more of an insight. We're gonna keep this train rolling. All right, so let's get into it. Oh my God, it's so much. Okay, hold on. All right, yeah. Okay. Now this one we're gonna play all the way through. You're gonna see L.A. Reid's role in this as well, and you can see that he and Diddy are working hand in hand in the industry, and he's also been charged with a SA assault as well. Okay, L.A. Reid is in conjunction to Diddy. We already know they were talking about Usher being groomed at the tender age of 15.
He's at 14 years old, just by himself with his mother.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go. 14-year-old Justin Bieber walks into my office as a gift from Usher, who called a few minutes before and said, "Hey, I'm coming to your office at 3 o'clock. I have a very special gift for you."
L.A. Reid is finally speaking out on why he sent 14-year-old Usher to Diddy's infamous Flavor Camp, and his comments just made the story even creepier. There's been a lot of allegations surrounding Diddy's alleged grooming of his young proteges, and fans believe both Diddy and L.A. Reid need to be investigated because this is starting to look like another R. Kelly situation. But what did L.A. Reid say about sending teenage Usher to live with a grown man? Let's get into it. Rumors about Diddy grooming Usher, Justin Bieber, and other child stars are getting louder, and Diddy's connection to these young men starts with L.A. Reid. When Usher was 10, he joined an R&B group, New Beginnings. However, his mom, Janetta, took him out because she reportedly wanted Usher to make it as a solo singer. Janetta started taking Usher to local talent shows in Atlanta, and at one of these shows, Usher met Bryant Reid, L.A. Reid's brother. Bryant arranged a meeting for Usher with L.A. Reid, and Janetta brought 14-year-old Usher to Reid's office.
Usher came to my office. My younger brother, his name is Bryant. He went to a talent show. He says, "I saw this kid. You have to see him." I was like, "Okay." Not particularly excited. "Okay, bring him by." So he brings Usher to my office at 14 years old. Just by himself or with his mother?
Usher performed for Reid, and Reid was so impressed that he signed Usher right on the spot.
He starts singing the song. And like that, I was like, oh my God.
Usher started preparing his debut album. However, he was going through puberty at the same time, and he lost his voice. And while Usher managed to convince the label to keep him, Reid was still not sure that Usher was marketable enough, so he decided to send him to New York City to attend Puffy's Flavor Camp. The name alone is weird enough. However, what allegedly happened at Diddy's camp is even more disturbing. In his 2004 interview with Rolling Stone, Usher recalled that coming to New York by himself was one of the hardest days of his life, and he also revealed that Diddy introduced him to his wild lifestyle right away. And if you're wondering why Janetta allowed her 14-year-old son to travel across the country alone and move in with a grown man, well, Usher claimed his mom had no idea about any of it. But what's more likely is that Usher is just trying to protect his mom because L.A. Reid must have told Janetta about his plans. In fact, Diddy himself later revealed during his 48 hours with Justin Bieber that he had legal guardianship of Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me.
The L.A. Reid-Justin Bieber connection is also extremely disturbing, but we'll get to that in a second. Now, going back to Puffy's Flavor Camp, when Usher appeared on The Howard Stern Show in 2016, he was asked if Diddy's house was full of girls, and he said this wasn't exactly the case, but you could tell he was hesitating to reveal what he actually witnessed there.
And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's.
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I mean, but it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Usher admitted he saw some wild and curious things at Puffy's Flavor Camp, but he never specified why L.A. Reid decided to send him there. Because think about it. Reed knew all about Diddy's lifestyle, so why did he think it was a good idea for a 14-year-old boy to live with Diddy? Also, when Howard Stern asked Usher if he would allow his ex to attend Diddy's camp, Usher, who had 2 sons at the time of the interview, immediately said, hell no.
You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
Hell no.
Meanwhile, another bizarre clip resurfaced showing Diddy telling Kevin Hart that Usher used to sleep in his bed at 10 years old.
That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, damn, pause, but like just back in the days when he was like 10, I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the frosted flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the frosted flakes because he used to always get up early. Now he's one of the richest stars in the world. What the fuck did Puff just say?
So if Diddy was telling the truth here, it means L.A. Reid introduced Usher to Diddy years before he signed him to his label at 14. As we already mentioned, when Usher was 10, he was part of the group New Beginnings.
Grooming.
And the group was organized by a local music promoter, Daryl Wheeler. Now, we don't know if Wheeler was the one who introduced Usher to L.A. Reid, but it definitely sounds like there was a lot of shady men lurking at these talent shows and picking their targets. And the really creepy part is that Usher ended up returning the favor, so to speak, when years later, he introduced 14-year-old Justin Bieber to L.A. Reid. In fact, Reid said that Justin was a gift from Usher.
14-year-old Justin Bieber walks into my office as a gift from Usher.
A
Called
gift?
A few minutes before and said, hey, I'm coming to your office at 3 o'clock. I have a very special gift for you. And he shows up with Justin Bieber. And Justin sits down and plays piano. Then he picks up his guitar and plays. And I'm like, oh my God, right? Are you serious? And that day, we made a deal to sign Justin Bieber also.
Another weird part about all this is that as soon as L.A. Reid and Usher signed Justin, Reid introduced Justin to Diddy. When Justin was 15, he was sent to spend 48 hours with Diddy, and part of this was documented for Justin's YouTube channel. In one video, Diddy is seen showing Justin a fancy car and telling him he'll let him drive it when he turns 16. And the whole vibe is so weird because Justin looks super innocent here, while Diddy just keeps staring at him.
I'm 15, you can ride in the passenger seat, I got my permit. Not yet. 16.
Let's slow down, Justin.
Okay.
Let's slow down, okay?
One step at a time.
But yeah, the keys is yours. And you get 16. You're good to go.
I'm good to go.
Yeah. Then when you get 18, you get the house.
Diddy then starts talking to the camera and says he can't reveal what he and Justin will do. However, he also adds that it'll be a 15-year-old's dream.
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream.
Now, keep in mind that Diddy was 40 years old here, so why did L.A. Reid send 15-year-old Justin to spend 2 whole days with Diddy? This definitely sounds like a pattern with Reid. Sign a talented teenage boy and then give him to Diddy for training. But Diddy's not a singer, so it's not like he can give Justin vocal lessons. Also, Justin's whole image back then was being a teenage heartthrob, so what exactly did Diddy have to teach him? There's been a lot of speculation among Justin's fans that Justin was traumatized by Diddy, Reid, and other men in the industry. And there's actually a clip of Justin and Diddy's interaction that took place a few years ago after the 48 Hours video, which shows Justin looking terrified of Diddy.
What's up, man? You good?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, young brother, everything's good? Selling out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But you never really got my number, so.
Correct. Okay.
But what does L.A. Reid have to say about all
Stuttering
this?
and everything.
How did he
Scared.
justify sending teenage Usher and Justin to live with Diddy? Well, Reid actually addressed the whole Puffy flavor camp situation in his memoir, and here's what he said. He told Diddy, "Will you take this kid and teach him your swagger?" I said, "Can you just give him some of your flavor?" And so I sent Usher to New York for what I called the Puffy flavor camp. I wanted Usher to be edgier than LaFace was. But it gets worse. Reid goes on to say that Usher may have been a teenager, but he looked more mature. Oh, and he also changed Usher's age from 14 to 15. Usher was 15 years old, but nothing about him ever seemed juvenile, Reid writes. I was turning him over to the wildest party guy in the country at an age when I still needed to get his mother's permission. But doesn't this sound like something a groomer would say to their victim? The whole, you're so mature for your age part. And that's not all, because Reed also made some creepy comments about Justin in his memoir, comparing teenage Justin to a beautiful woman. This kid was beautiful, like a woman can be beautiful, and men rarely are, Reed writes. And he turned it on as soon as he stepped into the room. To be clear, Usher and Justin never accused LA Reid of grooming, but fans are convinced that both of them were traumatized by Reid and Diddy. One fan commented, Justin Bieber was presented as a gift, just as Usher was presented as a gift at tender ages. Easy to manipulate. And another fan added, I wish more child stars will talk about this stuff, but I know they possibly can't. But let's hear your thoughts on this. How do you feel about LA Reid sending Usher to Diddy's flavor camp and Usher gifting Justin Bieber to Reid?
Y'all hear that? Gifts and groomings. That's what's been going on here. These kids are young coming into the business, okay? There's a lot of grooming. There's a lot of DURGS going on in the business. And some people are signing contracts when they're not sober. All right? I'm going to play something else for you. This is just going to be a small clip where someone is explaining how the actual music business works. All right? And the things that they've seen happen when they're someone is trying to get signed, okay?
Can't tell me he gonna give me $100 million and play with my butt. A lot of these artists don't be real niggas. That shit you see on the record, they not really solid. They not thorough. They never even been through shit. So when they get proposition and they see a car, they don't know. Don't drink after a nigga. I used to stick niggas up, bro. So I'm always on point, bro. Always on my square. But a nigga that's a square, he don't know. So he don't know watch your drink. He don't know. So now he drink behind a nigga. He get drugged. They rape this nigga. They rape this nigga. Videotape it. Then when he in a meeting, they give him a shitty contract. They play the video of him getting fucked by like 3 niggas. He ain't never been doing shit like that. So he like, damn, what? Fuck it, I'm just gonna sign. Rather than get that story put out, he gonna sign that bad contract. He gonna take that advance, which is recoupable anyway.
Is that crazy? These are things that's going on in the industry that they don't talk about, okay? They don't talk about these things. And these guys, they make it look so good, like, well, okay, here's this money up front, because they know, first of all, you coming into this thing broke, you need money, you got to survive. So that's the first thing they're going to dangle in front of you. They dangle these gifts in their faces and say, here, take this advance of $30,000. You probably never seen $30,000 your entire life, and you think that's a lot of money. Then they want you to sign this contract, but it comes with a price. Okay, here, drink this drink too while you're looking over the contract. And by the time you finish your drink, some unmentionable things happen to you. And by the time you come to and realize what's going on, there's this video of you that's being held over your head like blackmail, and somebody's telling you got to sign this paper. And if you refuse to sign it, well, I'm going to put this video out here of some things that you were participating in that you didn't even know you're participating in an effort to get you to sign over and sell your soul to an industry. Okay, that's the deep dark mess that's going on with that. All right, so let's get into our part 2 of Miss Sloan Bella. We talked about part 1 last night. We're going to go ahead and play the part 2 of the Extracting Souls. For those of you that's real squirmish, it's not too bad. She's going to get into the deep dark part of it all. So we listened to part 1 where she was talking about the Kim Porter part. We're going to do part 2 tonight. All right, so we can wrap that up. And then we're going to move on to something else tomorrow night. I saw somebody putting it in the title talking about Diddy. Diddy is a topic of discussion, and there's so many things that's linked to Diddy. And I'm just trying to uncover as much as I can, because I feel like there's going to be a lawsuit coming, like a real lawsuit. Sloan Bella already said last night, 4 years from now, that Diddy is going to be like seriously brought down. I think it's going to be before then, but hey, she's never wrong so far. So I'm going to trust that in 4 years, we might be seeing some clanks on old Diddy. All right. Okay, so we got the part 1. Let's get to part 2 one. All right. Why didn't I save it? I'm sorry, guys. Pull it up this way. Are y'all enjoying the content so far tonight? This good old tea. Okay. All right. We got that one already. I don't want that. I don't want that. Give me 1 second, guys, because I thought I saved it. I'm so not prepared tonight. I've been pulling so much stuff. I got so many damn videos. All right, so we got this spiritual policy. Give me a moment so we can get our part 2 in there. No. Just talk amongst yourselves. I'm still here. Damn. What the fuck did I do with it? Lord. All right, hold on. All right, we did part 1. What the hell happened to the video? All right, hold on. Lord. We did the spiritual policy. I know I got it. Okay, here we go. All right, part 2. Oh, I knew I had it. Let's get past this ad. And we're going to listen to, this is Sloan Bella, the medium that we were listening to last night, okay?
Sloan from SloanBella.com, and I am back with the second part to the Kim Porter Celebrity Channeled Energetic video. I very rarely come back and do a second video right away, but I was propelled to do this because I was getting information in my head all morning when I was running. I have to preface it with that because it's not like anybody's showing me something.
Everybody here
getting
good?
the information and it wants to be explained this way. That's kind of how spirit works at times. The energy around a situation, circumstance, or person will make you know what you need to do. And it may not be within the context of the logical day-to-day life that we live in. But I also wanted to address the fact that you guys were so right and on point. Hello, what was I thinking in a Neptunian sense yesterday? I kept saying Columbus, Ohio. Kim was born in Columbus, Georgia. She is still a Sagittarius sun with a Pisces rising with a Cancer moon. And I wanted to say several things I noticed about her chart. The first one being she had moon square Uranus. Moon squaring Uranus gives her an extremely inquisitive, analytical mind, and one that doesn't stay ruminating on one thing. It jumps almost in succession to, like, I found this out, now I want to know about this and this. It doesn't stay stuck, okay? So the moon squaring Uranus gives that Cancer moon a kick in the butt for it to go forward and move forward, which is great, because when she recognizes the past is out of reach for her, then she can move forward. Some people always have hold hope in the past. Now, granted, all you women out there and a lot of men know once you have kids with somebody, you're really not going to want to run away from that person too much unless it's extremely threatening. You're going to stay because you have kids. And there's a lot of control mechanisms that play with people like her baby's daddy's level of status and power and money. What is it, like $900 million? So somebody with that kind of money facing you who had his kids, like, you're not going to win. We know that in society. We know that. There is no justice in that sense when it comes to who gets the kids, because the person with the most money and the most aggression behind them usually wins. In every divorce, y'all will come forward and tell me that. She also has these interesting squares between the North and the South Node. As I've explained, the South Node is where we've come from. So it is the energy that we bring with us into this incarnation. What have we experienced? Why do we feel the way we do? What is commonality for us? The North Node is where we are going to. What do we want to gain in this life? How do we get there? And how does it take us out of our comfort zone? She literally, Kim, I'm talking about, literally has Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn squaring both the south and the north node. I'm going to use a word, karmic binding, with that. She came in tagged for a specific experience, and she went out tagged for that same experience. So there's a connection between coming in and going out. She had a chance in the interim to work at it, but with that Saturn, with that Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, this was a double-edged sword for her. I don't usually see that in a chart. And then if you add to it the Sun squaring Pluto, now y'all can go look that up. Sun square Pluto. In its best, most altruistic definition, I guess, it can be a transformation with the self. Like if you were, for example, somebody who spent years in jail and was a druggie and whatever, and you stepped out of that and you rose above that, that would be the most positive expression. But we're talking about Pluto, and Pluto is here to stop you dead in your tracks if you are on the wrong path. And more so than any other planet, Pluto squaring, aspecting, conjuncting even, another planet will force you to deal with what you're not dealing with. So Sun, which is the masculine, she's feminine, she's a woman, so the man that she dates and the father figure, the Sun squaring Pluto, the planet of complete upheaval, transformation after upheaval. I can't express that enough. When that steps in there, this is exactly what she was experiencing within the context of the relationship she had with P. Diddy. Now, putting all of that aside, here is the information I got this morning. So when I step out and I meditate, the eye twitch is back. And every time I talk about her, I have an eye twitch. It's making me crazy. I did not have it all morning. I did not have it last night. So every time I meditate and focus on someone, because I felt like there was something I was missing in the last video, I will literally exert myself running, and I will get information downloads while I'm running. Like my mind will go to what I should be focused on. And I'm going to say this 100%. Well, not 100%. I'm going to say this, what I felt. I felt it in me so strongly. A few years before Kim passed, so probably 2016-ish time frame, thereabouts, could have been 2017, but a long enough time where it was more than 12 months, might not have been quite 2 years, she was speaking to authorities. Now, who the authorities are, I don't think it's like local cops. I think it's maybe more like people who investigate things. She was speaking to them about something that she became aware of, and she had never been aware of this before. She'd been aware of a lot of things. Don't kid yourself. She was not sheltered, and she was not naive to whom she had children with. But this was different. This was like a whole notch up of like, oh my God. She was communicating with authorities. I heard that. Authorities were aware of something, that information that she had, and were asking her to gather more, and I'll use the word intel, but more information about a particular instance. Now, the instance, what I was shown is the instance went back to a party, which was not thrown by her husband, not husband, baby daddy, was not thrown by him. It was a party that she attended, and it was a very formal gathering with very high backseat chairs, kind of like adorned, maybe old school backseat chairs, like just really high. So I'm sitting in a chair and the back goes to my shoulders. I'm talking where these were like high, almost covered backseat chairs, and a very, very long table. A very dark room with like crimson coloring inside this room. It's a formal dining dinner of some kind, and people are talking all across, and there's different kinds of people. These aren't just music people. These are all kinds of people. These are different people, okay, from all walks of life is what I'm saying. At this dinner, there was some brokering deals done, okay, because I feel like she was invited and observant, but not participant, okay? So she was not participating in this, but she observed what was going on. And I feel like it upset her what she heard. There were people who shouldn't have been at this dinner, as in people you wouldn't expect to mingle with other people. Now, granted, you can go out, to Home Depot and run into people, right? You can go to Trader Joe's and run into people. You can run into people at the DMV, because we all got to go to the DMV, unfortunately. But this was different. And the information that she gathered was upsetting to her. So when they say, and I want you to hear me with this, because I'm going to try to explain this without getting myself in trouble. When they say that her former baby daddy and people did not want her to write a tell-all book about what she witnessed, and they are dumbing it down to the fact that they think that P. Diddy is on some kind of spree for removing people who speak about this because he's gay, that is not the issue. I want you to hear me. That's one thing, and he may have his own shame about that, and it may be culturally not right for him, whatever. Get in line in society. That is not what this is. That's not what it is. So,
I'm sorry, guys. We gotta add. Let's get past it. Y'all enjoying so far? Sloan about to get into the deep part of it, guys. We're back.
I'm going to jump into something separate here to explain what this is. All right, so let's look at it this way. You, me, all of us, we come into a family heritage, right? Some of us are born Christian, some are born Catholic, some are born Jewish, some are Scientologists, some are atheists, some are agnostic, some are whatever religion is out there, Muslim, insert name of religion, okay? Insert name of new age, whatever, however you, spiritual, however you want to word this. So we come into the context of understanding about our position in this world through the family unit that teaches us. And we're kind of at the mercy of that growing up, right? Like we have parents, and if they drag you to midnight mass, you're getting dragged to midnight mass. If they're agnostic, you're not going anywhere. If they're Jewish, you're observing those holidays. If they're Orthodox, that's a whole notch up. So what if, and this is an if, this is not an if, this is a what was happening. If you're born into a history and lineage that follows a religion that believes through the art of sexual breaking down and making the person vulnerable, removing the ego and fragmenting the self. So if you're born into, quote, a religion that does that, okay? Which there are religions that do that. Think of like David Koresh. Think of Mormons. Don't yell at me, Mormon people. I'm not talking about your church. You guys are all over saying that. But you understand where they break it down. So what is a way to break down a person? A way to break down a person is to take away their internal security. To take away their internal security is to control them. Because once they've lost their sense of self, they are easily manipulated into being what you need them to be. Now take that in terms of children. When we abuse children, okay, in this world, that is what we are doing. They are harboring just an insane amount of insecurity and lack of knowing of strength and self and knowing about source connection because it's been ripped away from them. So what if, instead of saying he's gay, we say that he partakes in ritualistic sodomy passages of right in order to control the soul body of the physical body of the person? Yes, I know what I just said sounds weird, but what if we are to look at it that way? Because that is what I'm actually believing is going on. I don't believe that a lot of what we think is, quote, gay behavior. I mean, technically it's what we label gay behavior, the action. If you're with the person of the same sex and you do that, then that is labeled that. Like heterosexual sex is labeled a man and a woman do this, right? So when it's same sex, and when it comes to men in power, how did they get into such power? I want you guys just to consider this because they're no different than you. No one has any secret magical talents out there that makes them so much better than you. Seriously, some people may be able to sing better, but it's not him, okay? Some people may be able to do things like they may be an artist, they may be a better parent, they may be mechanical, they may have attributes and abilities in athletics and stuff like that. But what makes them so so freaking fucking special on this planet that they got to amass $900 million. What is that about? So that is about, just look at it this way. They're not more special than you. There's something else going on. That's what she was trying to say. It's not a book about him being gay. He may have had gay sex. Do we expect any of these people haven't? I mean, really, we're talking about people in the entertainment industry. Don't they do everything that, other people don't want to do?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, or maybe other people want to do but can't because they'll get fired from their job. In Hollywood, you can do it, right? In the entertainment industry, you can do it. But ask yourself why there's such a predominance of, quote, gay behavior. Because it's not gay behavior. That's not what we're talking about. There are gay people, but what we're talking about here is ritualistic sexual deviancy used to harness energy of a human being. We are being harnessed, not me, not you, but the people that he's dealing with. And she became privy to this. She witnessed this. Now, if you follow a religion that believes you need the brightest, strongest, most pure energy, most biggest, brightest diamond, like Liz Taylor running around with big, gaudy ass diamonds, acting like that was something. Okay, so let's look at it this way. If you want energy that's as big as a diamond like that and as authentic, where do you get it from? You get it from children. And what if you are using those ritualistic behaviors at children? What if you're doing that with children? What if you are putting spores into children? Okay, what do I mean by spores? Energetic hooks. What if you are putting energetic hooks through the act of ritualized sex? Not sex, not like, oh my God, I'm hot, I want to fuck that person. Not that kind of sex. Ritualized, thought out, planned specifically to rip the person down and hide behind their energy. That is what we are talking about. We are talking about the ritualizing, sexualized aggression directed at young children, mainly male, in order to harness their energy. So it's a hard concept to understand. I don't know that I understand it fully, but if I can use...
Didn't I say last night, I'm going to pause it just right quick. Didn't I say last night that it's targeted mostly towards the males because the males are the protectors and the head and the overseers? So when you chop down the head, then what's left? Then you start to go towards women and children, but you gotta take out and annihilate the head first, which is the males, okay?
Your energy. So we all have that friend that can get us into clubs and restaurants because they're dialed up and everybody knows them and they can get us discounts and all of that stuff. So we love to hang around that friend because we're like, I can get all my makeup, I can get my manicures, I can get into the club, I can get that purse, I can get it before other people. Who doesn't like that? We all like that. But what if we're talking about a religion that hides behind the energy of the most innocent on this planet who are lit up energetically because it hasn't been broken by this planet? And what if they are using this ritualized sodomy sex in order to separate the human body from the soul body so that they can attach it on the astral, harness that energy, utilize it here, and act like they're all fucking special here, doing bullshit, and then making you feel like shit.
All right, let's get past this ad. She is spot on, okay? We're back.
What if that is what is going on? Because that is what's going on. I'm using it as a question, but I want you to kind of explore that because it sounds crazy when I'm saying it. That is what she hooked into. That is what she found out. The ritualized sexual abuse of minors in order to tap into energy portals within the soul body or spirit body and then hook into that energy. Now, when that happens, the person, and we'll just use somebody like Justin Bieber, the person who's had that happen He's given what he wants, which is over here. We know Bieber was famous as a teenager and all of that. How do you think he got that way? Because they harnessed his energy and presented him while him, the self, is broken. He is broken and a shell of himself because he has lost his sense of self. They stole that. That is what they wear. So it's like they're wearing his clothes, but look at it in terms of energy. This is what Kim found out. She found out exactly what was happening. She'd been blocked from that. She'd seen a lot. She'd seen some kinky shit. She'd seen some weird shit. She was asked to participate in things that these narcissistic, psychopathic type people ask their partners to participate in. Okay. Yes, I said the word that I wasn't going to say yesterday, but that's exactly that's what happened. She came across the ritualizing sexual abuse, and that's where she drew the line. That is not okay. Now, as much as they say, let me word it this way too. We hear a lot of stuff online about universal law, and they have to let us know. No, they don't. Don't buy into that shit. No one has to let anybody know anything. Do you think the criminal calls you up and goes, hey, bitch, I'm going to rob your house later tonight? I don't think so. I think that they rob your house through opportunity. They have taught us to think incorrectly about what's going on. Most of us don't believe there's anything else outside of our physical body. Kim knew there was. She knew that her baby daddy was strong, powerful, but when she found out how he got that power for real, it scared her. She is protected. She is fine. Like she's not stuck anywhere where there's a problem with her. She saw. So I actually feel that the passing of Kim Porter opened up the knowledge of what this man and there are others. Big, huge dinner party, and very, very ornate, and very, very, it reminds me of a legal boardroom table with all, like, you walk into a expensive law office and there's like huge ass table and you're like, well, it's only me and him and then you, right? You're like, why am I here? It was this huge table like this, very ornately decorated, crimson coloring. The chairs are huge and high behind you. And when she saw what she saw, I feel like, I'm going to say this. I feel like she slipped through a dimension. I'm talking when she's alive. I feel like that's why she was giving information to the, quote, authorities. Forget the book. It's not just about the book. It's about that, what I'm talking about. And I feel like the veil was let down in front of her, and she actually walked through like a dimension, and what she saw flipped her out because she became very frightened. I got that very, very strong, very mistrusting. She feels comfortable now. She's been on the other side long enough where she knows she's protected, and there are many. This is ritualized sexual abuse used in order to invoke power and energy and hook, and I use the word spores. That's like just the word I use. Just think of a dandelion and those spores blowing everywhere. They do that inside your body through, as I was saying before the video got cut off, they do that from behind you in the physical sense because it's an easy pathway to the chakra system, and through the crown chakra, they can harness your energy. That's why, do you see this? This is happening now. Do you see it? The camera cut off and now it's going back and forth. Again, here we go. They can harness your energy. When they harness your energy, they own your energy. Think of a horse and wagon. If the horse has the bit in the mouth, you have the reins. Do you see that? Do you see that's happening? We're doing this again. Here we go. We're doing it again. The horse is led by the person who has the reins. The person who takes the action to destroy the self-esteem of the underaged, pure child whose family has said, here you go, we want this for him, which means they want it for themselves. When that family steps in and hands over that youthful person, they break the spirit of that person. And once they've broken the spirit through their actions, they control the energy of that person, because by breaking them, it's not like we describe it as like people who don't have self-esteem, people who don't feel good about themselves. They're very moldable and manipulated. But what it actually is it's tearing away of the soul body, which harnesses 99% of our energy, because the physical is just what we're here to walk around in. It's like the car. The person driving the car either has a skill or doesn't. So they're breaking the physical from the soul body and tethering the line that connects the two and hijacking it energetically. That's what she found out. And she was asked to report on it. Obviously, we're on Earth, planet of logics and logistics. So they asked her for actual information. And there are other people repeating information about his behaviors, because there's certain things he does that are illegal on this planet, in this world right now, that don't include the metaphysical, that are involved in the rituals. And that is what is being gone on behind the scenes. And that is the intelligence that's being gathered. This I got really strong. Now, when we're talking about the harnessing of energy, it is to break down the psyche of the human being so that the human being, the person, the child, doesn't see their power, their gifts. They target people with gifts, like gifts of strong fortitude, gifts of light in their eyes, creative gifts, and they claim them as their own. They claim them as their own. And sometimes you will see people with remarkable gifts, but those people have taken that from someone else, because it's an energetic bending of sorts. It's a bending of energy, and the bending of that energy is what we're talking about. Now, in our day-to-day life terms, she witnessed and heard something that was going on. Now, this is where I think I brought up Ohio. Columbus, Ohio, again, I apologize. It was Columbus, Georgia. But I think I brought up Ohio because I think she was trying to tell me it was through the middle of the country. So we know what we're talking about here. We know about backroom deals. We know about this. So think of where Ohio is logistically located, and think about it going through the middle of the country, and think about trains going through the middle of the country with product on the trains. You know what I'm saying? So I feel she got an eyeful just before she died of information, and it would be the 2 years before she died, but specifically 3 months before she died, of information. And I don't think that he would be the only one that would want her to shut up. And how they're going to sell it, package it, and market it to the public is he was gay and he didn't want it to get out. Come on now. Come on now. Do you really think that's it? I'm asking you guys to think. That's not what this is about. I mean, he can be all of that. Yeah, he can be whatever he is. But that's not what this is about. This is different. And she saw it. And she saw how they got to where they are doing what they do. That's what she saw. And then she realized, and I'm going to tell you something. I feel like Kim spent 2 lifetimes having this shit happen to her. And I think she came back in with the same group of people to try to correct that for herself, and she got taken out again. And I'm being serious when I say that on an energy level. I feel like she literally had this happen most recent past life.
Thanks,
and then again, and I'm getting a confirmation on that. I'm getting a head shake, yes. I feel like this happened 2 times in a row. There will be what we call justice for what happened to her, but it's in a different way. It's going to come across sideways from a very unexpected source. It's nobody in her family. It's none of her friends. It's somebody sideways that's finally going to step up and tell the truth. So this is my second video on Kim Porter and her baby daddy and the energy around this particular situation. And I want you to think about it for a second. The harnessing of energy that isn't in the physical. So where is it and how do we access it? That's what the actual issue is. It's not like this man is gay and so we're just going to take everybody out because we don't want anyone to know he's gay. That's ridiculous. That's not what's going on. And once again, my name is Sloan from Sloan Bella.
Okay, so that's it for her. Okay, so we're getting to the end of our video. I'm going to share this last little piece of what I have, then I'm going to let you guys go so that you guys can get some rest. Okay, this is Cameron. You are showing out and showing them very relevant information. People, please listen up. Absolutely, I want to make everybody aware and share some very, very pertinent information, because these are things that we don't really believe and or know that go on in the industry, and it's very real. A lot of people don't really believe in spirits, but spirits are real, guys. They are very, very real. I was just typing in the chat. That's why you have to pray and detox your spirit and cleanse your spirit daily, and be aware of who you are hanging around and what you allow, especially what you listen to. It's in music as well. We already talked about how Satan kind of takes over music. Certain music have satanic ritualistic stuff in it. So when you're listening to it and you're singing it and you're taking it into your spirit, those spirits reside in you as well. Okay, thank you so much, Miss Brooks, for the super chat. Okay, I appreciate it. So you have to be very, very, very mindful. I'm going to drop this passage for somebody to actually check out. If you guys read Numbers, this is in the Bible, Numbers 32 and 23. This is something I pulled. It says, be sure your sins will find you out, meaning that there's nothing that you can do, and there's no amount of time that you can continue to do what you do and that your sins will not find you out. That's in the Bible. Okay. In Diddy's case, it doesn't matter like how many people you try to silence. It doesn't matter how many NDAs you try to make people sign. It doesn't matter who's actually, who you're actually trying to hide behind, the amount of money you have, the amount of influence that you have. It's pretty much God's word. It don't lie. I mean, you can only get away with for so long. Look at R. Kelly. Everybody kept saying, oh, he's never going to be arrested. He's never going to be arrested. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. Giants fall. And you cannot continue to do things to people, especially evil things like this. Okay. Especially things like this. There is a passage also in the Bible that says, touch not my anointed one. Children are anointed by God because they're innocent beings. They're innocent souls. They were created. Everybody really is created in an effort to please God. So when an evil source comes in to derail that assignment that God has already put on your life, because everybody has an assignment on their life. So in the music industry, their job is to derail you from that assignment and take you so far off of that assignment to where you don't even know that you even exist and or what's going on, because your mind is so gone. That's why they have these rituals. You don't see that type of stuff in the real spiritual realm and the real spiritual world. That's why a lot of people, they run back to the church, like Mace and all these other people who were in the industry. They're running back to God because that's like, this is some crazy stuff. When they finally come to the realization of what they witnessed, they're like, this is not normal. It's not normal to be in situations such as that. It's not normal for a grown man to pass a child off to another man to have some type of ritualistic trafficking type situation. That's not a normal thing. And nowadays you have mothers handing their children off for financial gain, knowing what is going on. I said it before, I felt like a lot of the mothers in the situation with the R. Kelly girls, I felt like they were teenagers. They were promised money, and they pretty much sold their children and their souls for money. And that is a real thing. That's what's going on now in this world. And it's very sadistic. It's sad. It's kind of scary as well. But as I was saying, you have to watch what you put into your spirit and into your soul, because these things have a very lasting effect. Okay. You have to, you have to be careful with who you fraternize with who you hang with, because you never know. You're hanging with spirits they call unaware spirits. Those things are real. I don't watch scary movies like that where like what is it? The Exorcist and stuff like that. I don't fool with stuff like that. Those things are very real. Those spirits can come up out of there and you be acting crazy and not even know why you're acting crazy, because these crazy spirits, I don't do stuff like that. I'm sorry. Some people can sit and watch those type of movies and it don't bother them. For me, it troubles my spirit because I'm looking at this stuff like, these are real. Like I told you, I grew up in Church of God in Christ, watching spirits be cast up out of people. And they tell you when you're sitting and going through, you have to pray, open your Bible and pray, and like literally keep your mind on God, because those spirits will jump from one person into another. There's a passage in the Bible where Jesus was praying for these people, and he cast out like some evil spirits like into swine. These spirits do travel. I told y'all, go back and look at the movie Ghost, where they were leaping from one person to the next like this, because they're looking for other souls. That's where they reside. So our job is to make sure that our hearts, our minds, and our spirits are clear, so that these spirits cannot reside within us. That's why you have to pray daily. Prayer is like a daily detox to keep these things out of you. And if you keep, like spirituality within you, then those things don't have a place to reside. Okay. So I'm gonna give you guys that passage again, Numbers 32 and 23. Okay. Yes. All right. So I was reading also, before I let you guys go, where they were saying that Cassie had like a girlfriend contract with Diddy, to where he was paying her $250,000 a month, which is why he turned her into this working girl, this trafficking type situation, because he was trying to make her earn the money that he was paying her. So she really wasn't a girlfriend, but he put the girlfriend title on there to make it look good for other people on the outside looking in. Really, she was a trafficked victim. I'm gonna say victim. And he was paying her $250,000 a month. Now, as you guys know, Carisha, who is also from the City Girls, she also has a girlfriend contract as well, to where she was getting paid up to $500K. So as we know, those things do not come without a price. Okay. There is a price for the Louis bags, for the expensive trips, for the $500K a month. That's a lot of money, but you better believe there are some things that she is doing for that. Now, since then, he has, they said, dialed her money down from the $500K down to $200K now. She was very mad about that too. For a while, she stopped fooling with him because she was mad that he lessened her money. So now that he's lost this Revolt podcast or platform, to where he was the chairman, it said and alleged that her podcast may be going away because they're cutting all ties as it relates to Diddy. And Diddy is the one that is behind her podcast. So with him losing all these deals and stuff, his money is getting ready to dry up. I think Carisha needs to go ahead and jump ship and just pretty much let it go, because you're not going to have a leg to stand on here soon, ma'am. That you really not. You're really not. Diddy is slowly falling. He is falling from grace. Well, he's already falling from grace, but he's literally falling before our eyes. And he's not going to land anywhere but in jail, and that's going to be real soon. And I'm going to be happy to see that, because when I think about all the people that we know of that he's violated, I don't even want to think about the people that haven't come forward yet because they're scared or hiding behind NDAs. And there's more. There are more women that's been violated, that's been hit, that's been abused, that's been assaulted, that we don't even know about, that's scared to talk because of who he is and the influence that he has and what they would think would happen to them if they spoke up. Cassie was very brave. Cassie was very brave. And the way that you take a person down is to speak on it. Don't be afraid to speak on it. The power of social media, and I was saying this to another content creator, the power of social media nowadays is astounding. The way that we can get on here and expose things, like one can chase 1,000 literally. And it's so many content creators that can talk about this and continue to put this information out there to continue to expose Diddy and encourage other women who have been violated and are hurt by this demon. I got to call him a demon. For you to have a woman who is on her cycle. That's a cleansing time in the month. For you to still be out here inserting spirits in this woman during this time when she's going through a cleansing period. A woman's cycle is her time to cleanse. And for you to tell her there is no time off, get in there. You still got to do this even with your cycle on. That's gross. It's disgusting. And it shows the amount of demonic spirits that's up in him that would still make him or make this girl do something like that. I was ready to throw up when I heard that shit. I was ready to throw up. But that is it for our show tonight, because we're getting into an hour and a half. Poppy is supposed to be very short, but we've had a lot of information that we put out there. But thank you guys for joining. We will have another pop in tomorrow. My pop in tomorrow may be a little later. I'm going to try to get here. I have a dentist appointment. I have to get my braces tightened up tomorrow. So it's probably going to be pushed back slightly, just a little, because I got to get that done. But we will still have a pop-in. All right. Car Chronicles will be in the morning. I'll be right here in this seat because I'll be working from home tomorrow. Okay, so I will see you guys then. But thank you guys so much for the super chats, Miss Brooks, and who was that? Somebody else. I don't want to leave you guys out. I want to call your name because I do appreciate you supporting the channel. Okay, so I see Miss Brooks. Who was my other one? And Miss Bridget, thank you so much for the super chats tonight. Okay, she said, great job. Really, I'm very disappointed in TD Jakes. Yeah, he's selling their soul, guys. Money. The love of money is the root of all evil, and that's what it's all about. Money, fame is the worst thing of all. But that's it, guys. Thank y'all for being here. I saw a few content creators popping in tonight as well. Thank you, content creators, for being here. Scorpion Miss Linda Gamble, Miss Bell, thank you guys for being here as well. Okay, tonight for modding for me. I really appreciate you guys. All right, let's get out of here, guys. You guys have a great night, and I will see you guys in the morning for Car Chronicles. Love you guys down, and goodbye.